Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to honor Women's History Month. In March 1911, a fire started inside the Triangle Shirtwaist factory in New York City. And as the 146 women working inside rushed to exit, they realized the doors were locked to keep them inside and working. They all died. These women, silenced in life, spoke loudly in death, leading to greater protection from workers. This tragedy also added to the momentum for the women's suffrage movement. Just 9 years later, women gained the right to vote. We gained our voice. While today we have our voice at the ballot box and in the legislature, too often women still stay silent to keep the peace or out of fear. A woman forced to keep quiet in potentially dangerous situations is encouraged to become a victim through inaction. How often do we ask women to speak out in cases of domestic abuse, yet they are still afraid that they will be ignored, so they suffer in silence? 105 years ago, women gained the right to vote. Some 140 of us in this chamber have a strong voice to stand, vote, and speak for those who elected us. When women are silenced, it hurts all of us. We stand today at a pivotal moment. Women who have been silenced are gaining back their voices. And indeed, in 2011, on the 100th anniversary of the Women's History Month, President Barack Obama said that there is still work to be done before women achieve true parity. But what is parity? Is it the equal opportunity to speak up for yourself, your safety, your emotional needs? Or is parity the erasing of women, women's spaces, women's sports, and women's voices? Women thought that the kind thing to do was to make space and hold their tongues, but rather than finding a tolerable compromise, they were pushed another foot for every inch they gave. They had to violate their boundaries and yield to men in their self-esteem while forsaking their own. Women were on a path to become history, not to make history. 114 years ago, women across the nation let the women working in garment shops know they were not alone, that they need not be silent, that they need not accept danger just to make men more comfortable. We have a choice to make. Our children and grandchildren are watching.
The member will suspend. Somebody needs to come down and withdraw their consent.
I feel like I'm getting silenced. Sorry. Keep talking. How the speaker asked.
Somebody needs to do it.
I object and I withdraw my consent.
Representative Murray withdraws her consent.
Representative Murray withdraws her consent.
So the question now is, shall the member continue?
The question is, shall the member continue? Members, take your seats. This will be a division vote. The request is for a roll call. It is sufficiently seconded. This will be a roll call vote. The motion before us is withdrawing consent for Representative Leon to continue speaking. This is going to be a roll call vote. Chair recognizes Representative Germana for a parliamentary inquiry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If I know that I've been teaching women's history at the college level for more than 20 years, and if I believe that we do not need to denigrate or diminish any of our fellow Granite Staters in order to celebrate and honor women's history, would I now press the red button to bring this to an end?
Chair recognizes Representative Leon for a parliamentary inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, if I know that this vote is whether or not we are going to silence women, would I then press the red button?
Can we at least have order for a few more minutes? The motion before us is to whether Representative Leon can continue speaking. This is a vote has to be three-fifths. This is a three-fifth vote. If you're in favor, you'll press the green button. If you're opposed, you'll press the red button. Voting stations are open for 30 seconds. Opportunity to vote. House will tend to stay to the vote. 171 voting yea, 89 voting nay. The motion passes. The House will be in order, damn it. Enough. Now let her speak.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I was saying, the women working in the garment shops were placed in danger by the men who owned and operated those garment shops. Now we have a choice to make. Our children and grandchildren are watching. Will we stand with these women?
The House will be in order.
Will we stand with these women and girls who are reclaiming their voices, reclaiming their spaces, and reclaiming their right to succeed or fail on their own merits? Or will we roll over and make this the first? Will we instead roll over and make this the first Women Are History Month? I ask you to stand with me, with the President who just signed a proclamation declaring March 2025 Women's History Month for women's rights, to tell women and girls that they matter, that their voices matter, and that their boundaries matter. We must overcome the campaign to silence women, or women ourselves will become history. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I look forward to the day when we can also celebrate men who have been demonized and villainized for too long.